everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by one of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
It's usually two of my show hosts.
Yes.
Jen's running late.
She is.
What are you gonna do? It happens.
Yeah, comfortable.
Meantime, Minions is here to help us.
Yes. The egg.
Thank God for that. Say hi in chat, Minions. Thank you. There he goes.
There you go.
Yeah, so it looks like you're gonna have to cover her job by saying hello to everybody in chat back and forth before she gets here.
Like always, I'll start with Rumble because they got there first, so I think we should address them first.
They're better than YouTube.
Yes. We have JB, we have Jack Gunky, we have a lot of scrolling. There's Blue Eyed Scream, Kivadam, and lots of scrolling. Very active conversation, which is good. I think that's everyone. Again, if I missed you, I apologize. Over on YouTube, we have some idiot with a really long name, some Pope or something. I don't know. He's an idiot. Hello to you, for those who are wondering who I'm talking about. And we have Mike R. and Frosted Glass, of all people, has joined us. I don't usually see him in chat. And Rotten Corpse has joined us as well. So hello to all of you.
I'm glad that Frost is here. It gives me a chance to apologize for not being able to make it to the corner the other day. Feeling under the weather. In all honesty, I didn't really say anything to you when we started up Rumble, but I don't feel that great right now either. I have an appointment with my doctor tomorrow, so.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to tough it out because that was a one-time deal streaming on my own channel.
Yeah, I mean, I rely on you guys to take care of the show, but if worse comes to worse, there are official backup processes for us, so I could put the word out to people, and the zookeepers in general, and they can start a show and you can join them and do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, my first port of call when you weren't able to host was I asked Johnny because I know that he's got access to the Minions channel, but he was busy. So okay, well if he's not able to do it, then I'll just do it on my channel, and it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're covered regardless. It's no big deal.
Yeah. It's all good.
So, quickly go over the topics for tonight.
Yes. So Newsome is obviously, we were talking about that earlier. You knew some musicians when you were younger.
Yes, I knew some.
Wilson, I believe, is a volleyball that was from that movie with Tom Hanks.
Wilson! Yeah.
And distracted is a type of distracted, which is what Jen has become, which is why she's not here.
Yeah. She was.
So how did I do? I got all three, right?
Yeah. She was late to your show too, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
But
maybe she's got something else pulling on her time.
Well, she said that she forgot that it was Wednesday, so that's why she didn't reply, because I sent her the message on Discord, and she just didn't reply, and I was like, oh, I mean, it's fine. And then
buy her a phone.
Halfway through the show, she replied to me saying, "Oh, I forgot it was Wednesday. I'm so sorry." And then I sent her the link, and she joined.
I'm gonna buy her a phone. I'm gonna program Wednesday on it. I'm gonna send it to her.
Yes, set an alarm.
Never forget Wednesday again. Yeah,
yes.
I mean, for me to run the show, I have 6 alarms. First one's
I've got a lot of alarms set up on my phone too. Obviously not for streaming because I know when my streams start and I don't have to set anything up. But just in general, because we used to play at 1 o'clock my time, and then he changed it to 2 o'clock my time. This is for yesterday's game, not today's. So I put that in my phone to remind me that it's an hour later than it's normally going to be. Every Saturday at 7, 7 o'clock, I give my mum a call, and because sometimes I'm distracted by a video game, and I would otherwise forget, I have my phone screech obnoxiously at me until I pay attention to it.
I misspoke. I don't have 6 alarms. I have 4. I have one at 6:30 that says, "You do know you have a show today, right?"
Yeah.
Literally what it's called, the alarm. You do know you have a show today. And then I have an 8:31 saying Wednesday StreamYards every Wednesday, which means that 8:30 means is when you're probably going to be there. Right. So that's what that's about. And then 8:59 says show in 60 seconds. And I should put underneath that Keyword Am's about to yell at you. And then finally at 9:30, it's music poll. So those are the 4 alarms. But I have no alarms for the rest of the week. I only have 4, and that's just for the Wednesday show. Just for the people out there who listen to the show, because I love them so much.
Let me just reply to
people who've said hello to me. Keyword Am, I should send her a heart. I'm just going to tell her. Scream, Blue Eye Scream, hello. And also GBO, greetings. Yes. I missed you. Maybe Jen is sick this time. Jen is sick all the time.
And I believe that sick is also a positive term. Like, that is sick, man. So maybe he's just impressed with Jen, as we all
are. To go over the 3 topics from my point of view, seeing as how I actually wrote them.
Yes.
Newsome is, of course, governor of California.
Yes, he is.
And he is losing on an 80-20 point. Have you heard the term 80-20 point?
Nope.
It means
I had no idea what that was when you sent the show notes to me, but when you said no 2028 possibilities, I just assumed that means he can't run for president.
No, he can still run. An 80-20 point is a point where 80% of the population think one thing and 20% think something else. And what
80% think he's a dickhead?
That's probably true too, but because even Democrats do. But 80% of the people think that we should get rid of all immigrants. End of story.
Oh, okay.
And he's on the 20% side, which is basically suicide. That's basically suicide for 2028. So that's what that's about. Yeah. Wilson is not about the volleyball, actually. Wilson, come back, Wilson. It's about Brian Wilson. One of the members of the Beach Boys died at 82.
Well, then he wasn't a beach boy. He was a beach old man.
Yeah, he's a beach dead person.
Yeah.
What I should have done was I should have done a quick montage, maybe 3 seconds per song of all the top Beach Boy songs. It would only taken maybe 45 seconds to play, and I wouldn't have got a copyright strike. It would only be 3 seconds each. But I didn't have time before the show to do all that.
Do you think he annoyed his kids by always referring to them as son of a beach?
And then Districted is actually specifically about District Judge Michael, I can't even pronounce this, Farbiarz, Farbiarz. What the fuck, man?
Farbiarz? Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea. Anyway, the guy who was on, I think it was Columbus. It wasn't on Harvard. It was on Columbus's campus, I think, who was spending all of his time denouncing Israel.
Right.
And Zionists that Trump said, get the fuck out of the country. Judge sided with Mahmoud Khalil, whatever the fuck his name is.
And before
he gets to stay for a while.
Gets too excited. That is not the Mahmoud from Super Seducer. Don't get your hopes up. It's not the cool guy.
The beach corpses.
Yeah, I think Prophet is disappointed that I beat him to the joke.
So this is another district court judge stepping in, trying to tell the executive branch of the United States government what to do. So this will be quickly overridden by the Supreme Court of the United States. We'll just come in and just smack that down, and he'll be gone. It'll be that, because he basically lied on his visa. So
that should be enough. That should
it will be. But the district, see, what Democrats are doing really when it comes down to it is they're just playing the delaying game. Anything we do, sue them. Anything you do, sue them. Just keep suing them, keep suing them, keep suing them. That way everything takes time and they can't get anything done.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty common tactic.
Well, it's certainly become very common lately.
mean, it's immoral, but it's effective. So, I mean, they're going to do it.
What's going to happen is the SCOTUS, or Supreme Court of the United States, federal government, is going to say, district court judges do not have this power anymore. Boom. And that's going to be the end of that. That's what's going to eventually going to happen.
And yes, Frosted, sadly, it is not Team Pussy Lover. As much as we love Mahmoud, this is a different person.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we can get into those more in detail later, I guess. But those are the three. I think you remember from last week, I went to do the outro and I lost the outro text.
You did?
Yeah, I found it again. So
well, that's nice. Good.
Tonight's outro will be nice and long and everyone will hate it again.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that's everything from last week. I didn't really spend too much time on the internet looking for stuff. These are the things that jumped out at me right away. Usually I go out to Drudge Report and a bunch of other places trying to find stuff. But this is just off of Fox News and CNN, basically. And
I don't know what TUES said, but he very quickly retracted his message. So everyone pour scorn upon him for that.
Mm-hmm. G-Ram says, I sure hope Jen's okay. I'm sure she's fine.
I'm sure she is. I'm sure she's fine.
Just busy doing something else and either forgot or got
I wouldn't worry.
No, she's fine. So.
But I do like Keith's earlier comment of Beached Boys, which I thought was quite good.
Yeah. I can, however, list some of the Beach Boys songs.
Yes.
Because there's a bunch of ones that people, you could just do the name. Popular Beach.
There's one that wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Then we wouldn't have to wait so long.
That's their most popular song. Wouldn't it be nice as number one?
Like in my head, that song doesn't go that way. It goes, wouldn't it be nice if the world was Cadbury's or something like it? Wouldn't it be nice if the world was chocolate or something like that?
Because that's even better.
There's a commercial from my childhood where that was the first time I'd ever heard the song. I didn't even know that they were making fun of an existing song. I just thought it was the Cadbury song.
Yeah, there's about 10 here. Surfing USA, and then Kokomo, Aruba, Jamaica, Good Vibrations. We're bringing up good vibrations.
Sorry.
Little Deuce Coupe, you don't know, and then California Girls, California Dreamin', Ba 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 Brand.
That's another good one. Yeah.
Help
they had a lot of hits, obviously.
Yeah. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
Yes.
You just sit here.
I used to work with a woman named Rhonda. That song got sung a lot at the club.
Yeah, I have a name that's in music too. So when people ask me my name and I tell them, not Hammer, but my real actual name.
So they always go. But I'm currently talking to Billie Jean.
They always go to that song right away. It's like, no, I denounce that song. It's only mentioned once in a song.
Billie Jean it is. I think we've cracked it.
No, Billie Jean's mentioned like 30 times in Michael Jackson's song. My name is only mentioned once in one song from one artist. So it's not integral to the song, but that's what everyone knows. As soon as they hear the name, like, oh, and they start singing, like, don't I don't want to hear that. So I'm very peculiar about my real name. It has to be fully spelled out. My real name is not Michael. My real name is not Michael. But my real name, I prefer people to pronounce my entire real name. I prefer Michael. I don't like Mikey.
Right. You don't like Mike or Mickey.
I don't like Mikey. I don't like a Y at the end of my name. It just seems very parochial. I prefer Mike or Michael, and of the two, I prefer Michael much better.
Well, I have seen Arrested Development, so if your name is not Michael, then I know it must be what I've just put in chat, because
I'm not going to sing their catalog, just some of their hits. I really shouldn't be singing at all because I was unable to hold down my lunch before the show tonight, so my throat really, really hurts right now.
So yes, now that we've confirmed that your name is Michael with an N,
My name,
because I've seen Arrested Development. That was a plot point. He thought his name was Michael Bluth, but on his birth certificate it actually said Michael, and Michael was worried. There you go, Clippers United.
my real name is Theo.
Yes, it's also Theo. Theo Neatonhammer.
Yep. So.
And it says your real name is Michael Myers, which is amusingly both a comedian and a villain from a horror movie.
Yeah, Theo says we all know your name is Mjolnir.
I
was forged in a dead star. The fires of a dead star, right? That's where it comes from.
I don't know.
Yeah, basically leaning back on my very thin Marvel knowledge. I think that's how they make Stormbreaker. He says, what can kill Thanos? And they say Stormbreaker. It's forged from the heart of a dying star, which is where they got Mjolnir from as well.
My entire knowledge of Marvel is that they fought Capcom several times, and there are games to prove it. And Kivadem's name may or may not be Christine, which doesn't really narrow things down very much. Gunsky says your name is Toby.
Toby? Where's that come from?
That is from that slave movie. Is it Roots? Is that the one where Kunta Kinte is whipped and told that his new name is Toby?
Is that what it is? I thought he was saying the real name of Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
No. I'm like 90% sure he's making the slave movie reference.
Okay. I am not a slave, nor have ever been a slave. Actually, if you look back at my history, my ethnicity, I am a slave. I'm a slave twice over in both ethnicities because I am Irish Welsh. I'm Irish Welsh on one side, and the Irish were slaves. And I'm also Slavic, which is where the word slave comes from.
And yes, Gunsky and Tier are both confirming that it is Roots. That is the movie that he was referencing.
I haven't seen that in so long.
I haven't seen it, but I know that one scene where the black guy is being whipped, and they're saying like, "What is your name, boy?" And he's like, "Kunta Kinte." He's like, "No, your name is Toby."
That was an adjustment for me when the actor who played Kunta Kinte was in Star Trek TNG as the engineer.
Yes. Was it LeVar Burton? Is that his name?
Yeah, LeVar Burton. I was like, wait a minute, that's the Reading Rainbow guy. What are they putting him in Star Trek for? You know, that's what he got known for after Kunta Kinte went in that whole Reading Rainbow thing. But it turned out perfect. He's like the perfect guy for that job. That was perfect acting choice. Yeah, chattel slave. The Irish were chattel slaves in America. I don't know who came here first. I don't know if it was or who was brought here first. Was it the Irish or the blacks that were brought here first or arrived first? I think it was black people that came here first. But Irish people, when they did arrive here, were not considered white. They were considered slaves.
That's true. Even though they're white as the ghost, they're technically
whiter than other Europeans. Yeah, they're whiter than people from England, yet they're not white. It just goes to show you that gender was fucked up even back then.
Yeah, it made no sense.
So, yeah, both ethnicities. If you look back through history, whatever ethnicity you're from, at some point you were oppressed. I mean, even people in Australia used to be criminals, quote unquote, back in Europe. So, I mean, there's oppression there.
I don't know if I'm descended from criminals because my mom was adopted, so I don't know where she's that's from historically.
Yeah, that's tough to go back.
But my dad, my grandparents came from Egypt. They're Greek, but they were born in Egypt. And they came from Egypt to Australia in I don't know, the 30s or something. And my dad was born in Australia, so he definitely wasn't descended from English prisoners. But I've got no idea about my mother.
Yeah. Did you read what Tier said? The Irish are ... whitish.
Yes.
You get the point there. The TV show Blackish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's funny.
I thought maybe it was like Jewish because like
No.
Jews can't fully admit to their ethnicity, but I'm Jewish.
Yeah. Kirodam is a Slav too, from Ukraine. I'm a Slav from, well, my country doesn't exist anymore. And pretty soon neither will Ukraine, right? I'm sorry, that was terrible. That was terrible. I'm sure Ukraine will be fine.
Yeah, I believe her name is actually a reference to Kiev, like the Ukrainian city, and Amsterdam from the Netherlands.
Kiev is how you pronounce it if you're Russian. Kiev is how you pronounce it if you're Ukrainian. It's different pronunciation. But my country doesn't exist anymore. Czechoslovakia is gone.
Yes. Well, I mean, it still exists. It's just been broken up into two parts, and now it's called.
I don't know what part I came from, because back when I was born, it was one part. So I don't know where in that part my grandparents were. Whether they
were either the Czech Republic or Slovakia, one of the two.
Yeah, if they're in the top north, it's like an L. If you're in the top north, that's the Czech Republic. If you're down in the bottom right, that's Slovakia. So.
And Kivodam says Kyiv. So I'm never going to call it Kyiv because
neither am I.
Horrible in my mouth. I can't pronounce. That sounds so awkward.
She'll have to choose between two bad American pronunciation and Australian pronunciations. It's either going to be Kyiv or Kiev, depending on.
Well,
which one's more right?
I would refer to the city as Kiev because that's just how I've always known it.
Yeah,
and I would refer to her as Kivodam because Kievodam sounds silly. So Kivodam makes more sense there.
But you see, that's why Kivodam and I get along so well. We're both Slavs.
And then Kyiv.
Kyiv.
Yeah, I mean, Keev. That's how you pronounce the first half of it, the first syllable of her name.
You're at a disadvantage though, because everyone Jack's railing it. But you're kind of a disadvantage because everyone actually knows your real name. Like no one knows Kirodam's name. No one knows. Well, I guess just everyone know Jack's name.
I mean, I know a few people's real names, so I'm obviously not going to reveal them on stream.
No, don't reveal.
No, them, I do know. Assuming he told me the truth, I do know Gunsky's real name. He could have just manufactured, a fake name just to troll me. I can't prove that the name he gave me is real, but assuming it is, then I do know his real name.
There's only one person online who actually knows my real name, and I don't think that.
Did you know your own real name?
No. Besides me. Okay, come on. Besides me. I know my name. I'm not that dumb. I mean, I'm generally not that dumb. The only person who knows my name, and I'm not sure if she even remembers it. The only person who knows is a former member of Minions who left. Her name is Fat Platypus.
Oh yeah, I know who that is. The one that's dating or married to Far.
Married to Farsusmi. Yeah. She's the only person, and I don't even know if she paid attention, but I sent her something in the mail, and I used my real name by mistake. Wasn't paying attention. I was like, I'll just send this and blah, 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 blah. And I just stuck it in the mail, and I didn't think twice. I didn't really have the process in place that I have now, where I do not put a name, and I do not put a return address. And I just hand it to my friend. He puts his name and his address on it. He sends it out for me. That way, if somebody comes back, they come back to him, not me.
There's a few people that got accidentally doxed with was it Google Hangouts back when that was a thing, because it automatically used the name associated with the Google account.
Right.
And so I think it was Mr. Dax. Like I've long since forgotten what his name actually is, but Mr. Dax joined Quippers one time, and it just automatically assigned his like real name. And I was like, oh, okay, it's not good.
Hi, Keishal. I'm very, very. Everything is in place to prevent me from being accessed. I don't have a job. You can't find me through my job, my work. Can't find me through my internet connection. That's all done through VPNs. I am pretty well covered. So
And yes, Frosted says, I was telling the truth, Terry. I really am Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I don't know if that's like a real name.
You know, he's back in the US.
What's that?
You know, he's back in the US.
I don't know who Kilmar.
Kilmar was the guy. Kilmar was formerly known as the Maryland Man.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. They sent him back home. To what's it? Oh, music poll.
Yes, good point.
El Salvador, because that's where he's from.
Yeah.
And they sent him back here because they found charges to apply to him. So they're bringing him back here so they can put him in jail.
Great.
So he's back in the United States in jail. Congratulations, Democrats. You guys won.
Yeah.
So funny.
I'm proud of my name, and I know. Oh yeah. So Tier is quite open that his real name is Justin. Like I'm not doxing him. He said that in chat himself.
Yeah. There are people who will admit at least their first name. So like we all know what Monkey's first name is.
Well, I am just going to remain an enigma. You will just have to wonder what my name could potentially be.
I know your last name is Salt.
Yes, indeed. Because my name was originally Terry's Alt, and but everyone just assumed it was Terry Salt. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
I know you're not going to retain them. You're not going to change. You're not going to correct them. That's not you.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't care. That's exactly what you would do. You don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, totally fine.
Like I never corrected anyone because my surname is technically Diamantis, not Diamantis, but I never bothered correcting like Monkey when he would say my name wrong because like I knew he meant me.
Care.
That's fine.
You don't care.
Yeah. And it was actually an accident where I was talking after Minions one day and I was talking about myself. It was like people would always call me and say, "Can I speak to Mrs. Diamantis?" Because like on the phone I sound like a woman. And Prospero heard me say that and was like horrified that she'd been calling me, like been saying my name wrong this whole time. Yeah. So that's how it actually got out that my name is not pronounced the way Monkey pronounces it. That I wasn't going to like correct anyone. I just accidentally said my name, and Prospero was like, "Oh shit."
The abbreviation RHCP. People know what that means, right? Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
They'll know what that means, right? I don't have to spell out the whole thing. I'm setting up the music poll. Yes, it is time for the music poll, JB. We're getting there.
And Thierry is saying that my real name is Jacob Abbo of the Whack Whack Abbos. No, we all know that Whack Whack is unpopulated because of the genocide there. Whack Whack genocide. Very real, very problematic. And Frosty says, if it's pronounced that way, then spell it that way. Hey, I didn't pick it. You've got an issue, take it up with my grandparents. Well, my grandfather, I suppose it's his name. But he's dead, and so is my father. So you might have a bit of trouble without like a Ouija board or
yeah.
But if you can get in touch with them, you can air your grievances with them.
This should be an interesting, whatchamacallit tonight, an interesting poll for the music tonight, because there's 2 heavy hitters and 2 a little bit lighter hitters. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
And Blue Eyed Screen says her name is very Irish, so it's probably got Mick in there somewhere.
My name originally had MC in front of it, but when my grandfather came to America, he didn't want to be known as being Irish, so he took the MC off the front of it.
That makes sense. I mean,
yeah,
given the way they were treated back then, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jen is there in spirit. She's not on fire, says Jen T Maxi.
Not on fire. Yeah, you are on fire. Jen's hot.
Good. And Tia says, what is the band? Well, if you had attended the Rumble pre-show like you were supposed to, you would know that it's the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
If you look at the thing, it says outro music. Doesn't it say RHCP? That's
yeah, but he might not know what RHCP stands for. It's
Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're saving a spot for you, Jen. All you have to do is join us.
Yeah. One of us.
I'll kick minions off.
And JB is excited that Under the Bridge is on the poll. That was a very popular song when I was in like primary school, like I year 6, I think. For some reason, everyone in my school was just obsessed with that song. So that I grew to like it because everyone else did. So it was like, all right.
Hey, Jen.
Hi. We need to give you a ghost version of my avatar because that'd be fun.
that was the Minions egg.
No, I am close to fires right now, but we're not on fire here. Like all I have is like smoke everywhere. I was looking into it just in case, but it's usually
Canada
like
can't be on fire. You need heat.
Well, you gotta understand, Terry, that our weirdos are now in competition with California.
That's true.
Minions is upset for being kicked.
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. No, I'm okay. I'm okay, Keeper Dam. I just got cut up in stuff and then was like, shit, I thought it was like 5:30 still somehow, and then no, it's not.
Well, let me take a second and act out of character, but this show just isn't the shame without you, Jen.
I appreciate that.
And I'm being sincere about that. God forbid I be sincere, but yeah.
If something really bad was going on, I would give you guys heads up. I might
people
even
were worried.
Like it.
People were worried. I wasn't worried though.
But no, I mean, it's obviously true that this show is not the same without Jen. Obviously, she is a vital part of it, the same way that all three of us are. But it is good to have you back.
I still feel bad if I'm late for stuff anyway, though. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so do I.
Like,
it's why I joined the stream like half an hour before we go live on Rumble.
I might start to do the league of like just setting an alarm because I've been bad about that lately. Like just like things catching up on me. I'm like, yeah, it was smoky. I did have to go grab some stuff, so I went now, so it's not worse later.
That actually was a suggestion from me earlier in the stream. Was that I'm gonna buy you a phone and send you with a pre-programmed alarm.
With an alarm set to Minions. Yeah.
It's also anytime anything goes on, I always just like pre-plan some things just in case. Like I might set up a little bag or like because my brother's disabled, right? So I have to be like if the building's on fire, I've been told I'm just supposed to leave, but like I still like to linger long enough to let fire department people know that he needs assistance.
Right.
That's probably a good idea.
Responsible sister.
Well, I love him. I wouldn't want bad things to happen to him. Like we argue and shit, and I'm sure there's times he wants to strangle.
I would hope that you do. You are siblings. You're supposed to care for each other.
But no, it's not that close to me. It's just it's smoky enough that you do kind of get paranoid. So, and I don't trust our weirdos any further than I can throw them based off of what I saw from yours. I know yours are extreme right now, but
that is very wise.
I still kind of want to. So I don't know if this is true or not, Terry, but I heard a rumor from the Rebel News, and I don't always believe them on everything, but Trump might be coming to my neck of the woods, and I'm like,
oh, nice.
Like I kind of want to go. Like I'm not normally a leave my apartment person, but like that's kind of the time you want to go.
No, I mean, I think it would be good to attend one just to see, just to experience it.
Not everyone here is anti-Trump. Like there are some people who are, and there's a lot of people who don't give a shit, who are like, we're more.
From what I understand, your neck of the woods is considerably less crazy leftist than other parts of Canada. Like Alberta is the more conservative part.
It is. It's
relative, yeah.
It's mostly based off of Calgary and Edmonton themselves. Like, we are big major cities, but we're not like Toronto or Ontario. Like, yes, you might get some goofballs. We have had, we've had our own little dramas and stuff. But Calgary's a very work-based place. Like getting a group of people to protest, if you got 15,000 people, you did really, really, really well. Because that's a miracle.
Yeah. I do like it. The conservatives don't protest because they have jobs.
That is it. We're just too busy. Like,
I know. It's just funny.
That's not to say that we don't want to. Like, goodness, there were so many of us who watched the convoy event who were like, I wish I could have gone. Don't have the holiday pay, you know, but it's just how that is. You know, you
for sure.
take care of yourself first. That's why a lot of people think this stuff is all paid, or at least a lot of it is.
Absolutely is. There's no doubt about it.
JB is Canadian.
Yep.
Yes, he is. I don't know what part of Canada, but he has mentioned being Canadian before.
I didn't know that. You have my condolences, sir.
My understanding is he's from Ontario, and I know I say a lot of flack stuff towards Ontario, and I don't ever mean that at any of my Ontario peeps. It really is the government.
Yeah.
It is. Because I feel it's worse for you guys. Like you're.
Oh, I hate Democrats.
Well,
I go right to the people. I don't like them because they are compromised. There's something about them where they just think they're better than everybody else. I've never run into a Democrat personally in my real life who didn't act like a snob.
Well, it's also that a third of a third of our population is in Ontario and Quebec. You know, so like Alberta has like not even maybe 5 million people in a province that you could fit 9 Englands into. You know,
I was hoping that Hammer was going to say, I've never run into a Democrat, but I'm a pretty good driver, so I can fix that.
That was another topic we had at the beginning of the show, being a good driver. Are you a good driver, Jen?
I don't drive. I live
What is it
here.
with the three of us? None of us are drivers.
True.
I was cheap and I was like, yeah. I live close to everywhere that I worked, and I worked at grocery stores.
Same thing as Terry. You live everywhere. I get everything delivered. I do have a nice car.
Yeah.
Do you guys have cars?
I used to. When my dad died, I actually inherited his car, but I just gave it away. Which appropriately enough is an option in the poll. If
do you have a car, Jen?
No.
Nope. Well, at least I have a car. I'm the snob this time.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I've ever driven was like a go-kart.
Oh yeah, I've driven those. Like as a kid, I used to drive go-karts, but as an adult, I've never driven anything except for hammer up the wall and.
Yeah.
I wasn't even allowed to try with the quad. Like my dad still has one, but I think it's with him. It's still kind of. I think you do need to have a license for one nowadays. Like when I was a kid, it wasn't strictly you need a license, but your parents
license for everything nowadays.
Yeah, so you know, but I missed out when I was a kid because you know quads didn't have seatbelts for the back. My dad just tied me to the back with rubber cords.
Jeez.
Go-karts, 18-wheelers, basically the same thing.
Yeah. I was just cheap at the time. Like it was between spending enough on a decent enough apartment in a decent enough area or spend money on a car. And because I worked at the grocery store that was like a block and a half from where I lived, I'm like, well, I can carry home what I eat. Like it's just me and a cat. It was perfect because of the cat, you know, because it's only a block and a half. It was enough to get my exercise too, because I had this theory when I left home that if I didn't find some damn excuse to get some exercise, I would just end up being a bigger fat ass. And so, yeah, I just went that route. Do I have regrets now? Yes, because the system back then was, I wish I'd gotten it because the system was easier to do it in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of jobs nowadays, it's not that you need to have one. It's just a lot of jobs that I could have right now kind of require one. So I'm like, shit.
Don't really need one either. I'm going to get my car back on the road just because I enjoy the driving it. I mean, if I had a Honda or a Toyota or some average vehicle or something like that, maybe I wouldn't be so thrilled. But I have a car that I enjoy driving, so I do want to get back on the road at some point, because it did give me a certain sense of joy. Not quite like a motorcycle, but it's a fun car, so I really want to get it back on the road. And like I think I was mentioning earlier, ain't much wrong with it. It's just it's got a battery issue that I could easily solve. I'm just being lazy about it.
The other reason I didn't rush either was when I was growing up, I did see a lot of my teenage friends getting into it, and I actually had my own opinion that they were rushing into it too much, because mental maturity is still a thing. And up here is probably not too far off from sort of like driving in your neck of the woods hammer, because some of the year you might have snow on the ground. You can't suddenly be, oh my God, there's snow. You need to actually know how to drive on that. And yes, there can be ice under that. So it's now a 2-year license program up here.
If you're in Canada and you don't know how to drive on snow or ice, you have a pretty big problem ahead of you.
Yeah, I don't want them to drive. That was my theory back then, and I still think that way, because when you're a kid, you are easily distracted. Sometimes it's just like a lot of the girls I knew had
girls can be very distracting. It's true.
It's not that they were distracted. It's just they lack confidence, especially at that age. So when you're driving and you're hesitating on decisions, that's really dangerous to be like when you're behind the wheel of a big machine. And I would see them do that and be like, you might want to put that off a little bit. And I know I'm easily distracted. Like, I go into la la land still nowadays.
Oh yeah.
So like I also did that because I thought it was better for other drivers. Like, it's not a bad thing to wait until you're more mature. And now it's just too expensive. I'm like, you win some, you lose some, Terry.
That's true. Yeah, I've never had a license. I've never been interested.
Never had a license.
I was quite the oddity at high school, because obviously most of the kids were like quite keen to learn how to drive, and it just never mattered to me. Like, if everywhere is walking distance, then what do I need a car for?
I do have some of what Hammer's saying, though, because it is true about long distance rides. Like, I probably get a little bit of my introvertedness from my dad, but rides with my dad were perfect because that we didn't necessarily have to have a conversation to have a good time together. You know, sometimes just in silence, we were still enjoying ourselves. So like, you know, if I was going on a trip and I had to choose between dad and mom, I love mom, but I would rather ride with dad.
I'm going to take that as a death threat, Kiva Dan. She says she'd like to see me drive in snow. I think that is incredibly cruel. I think I need to report you and have your channel deleted and have you fired from your job and
so
never be able to work again.
Keith dropped an American war crime. I want to see you toboggan, Terry.
Oh God. If I was maybe 30 years younger, maybe I would. Not at my current age.
I would take you to a really tiny hill. I wouldn't torture you with that shit. You could like sit down on your bum. But, oh look, I could have done this on my stairs.
I did go skiing once or twice. Like we went on holidays to the one of the few places in New South Wales that actually does get snow. And like skiing is fun and all, but yeah, it's too cold, it's too wet. It's not for me.
It is better when you're young. Like I know people who are older who still do it, but they've been doing it since they were young.
Yes, exactly. You know? Yeah, that's different.
But when when you're old, it's like I only do that if I'm like still a little tipsy from drinking a little. I don't drink very often, you know. I could see doing that from a party, being like, "Oh, look, that hill is." I don't know how big it is, but my bum would be okay if I do it on my bum.
No, I don't think I would enjoy hurtling down a mountain, whether on a sled or on 2 planks strapped to my feet. Neither of them sounds like something I would enjoy. So I'm happy to let other people have that fun, and I will just stay and play my video games. I think that's best for everyone.
I hear you. It's also times that my dad would challenge me on stuff. So like these are hills that don't exist anymore because they've been taken over by housing. But they had toboggan hills that they would name things like Murder Mountain and Death Plot and things like that. And you're like, oh, I see what happens there.
Six wants to know, have I ever played horseshoes? I'm assuming that's just throwing horseshoes at like a peg in the distance. I've never done that. So assuming that's what you're referring to, no, I haven't. And if it's referring to something else, then no, I haven't, because I don't know what that is. So probably not.
Did you ever have to go to a birthday party where somebody was like, pin the tail on the donkey, but I've never actually hit another kid, but I have seen another kid hit another kid.
I did do pin the tail on the donkey when I was like a kid, but I don't think anything catastrophic ever happened. I think the worst that ever happened was I missed the donkey and like, you know, put the tail on its torso or something silly like that. But no children have ever been injured in a pin the tail on the donkey accident, in my experience.
Nothing terrible. It's really easy to spin a kid who's blind with something that's got a pin on it and being like, living wild.
Okay, we're getting ready to close the votes. We got 11, so if you want to vote,
yeah, pretty good poll. Looks like by a single vote, Under the Bridge is winning. It's got 3 votes for that, 2 votes for Californication, 2 votes for Give It Away, and 1 vote for Scar Tissue. So by a single vote, Under the Bridge got the win.
So I'll give it to 9:52, about another 30 seconds.
That's asking for trouble. They're gonna make it a tie. You know they're gonna make it a tie.
Oh, have I voted though? Yeah, I did. Okay. I was late. Gotta double check.
It's a tie now.
That was probably me.
Rotten Corpse says there's a hill called Mount Baldhead where he grew up. We'd run up the stairs on one side and then down the sandy other side and head to the beach. Mount Baldhead is a very good name. I like it. There's actually a fighting game character called Dr. Baldhead, but he was renamed to Faust in later versions of that game. And yes, as I predicted, by giving them that extra minute, they have created a tie.
It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have a tie on the music.
Yes, and Blue Eyed Scream and JB have said that horseshoes is just like cornhole, or what about cornhole? Cornhole sounds like a euphemism for Uranus, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I want to know what you're talking about, but no, I have no cornhole experience. Take that however you wish.
Yeah, we don't need no TP for our bumhole. We're covered.
All right. Well, worst comes to worst, I'm the tiebreaker. So
you are indeed.
Here's the option, guys. One more vote, change who leads. The power of Grayskull is in your hands. You can either make it Under the Bridge or give it away.
In the immortal words of Captain Planet, the power is yours. And watch them vote for Californication and make it a 3-way tie.
See, I don't know. I still like Robot Chicken's version of Captain Planet, where it's just Ted Turner painting himself blue.
Right. I mean, that show was like blatant propaganda. Like, it didn't even disguise the fact that it was propaganda.
People didn't really care, though.
No, I mean, it was. I liked it. I mean, I was a kid. It was a kid's show. But even I, as a kid, knew that it was environmentalist propaganda.
TUENtonhammer, the choice is yours. Yes, it is. But I'd rather not make that choice. Let the people choose.
Yeah. And JB says that it's a beanbag game. I have not put beanbag up my cornhole. No, that is not an experience that I've.
Okay.
I don't know that. I don't know what they put it up in those capsules that you're supposed to use for your bum.
The suppositories. It's just some sort of medicine, I think.
One more vote. Who hasn't voted? You got 12 votes. There's got to at least be a couple of votes still left out there. Someone hasn't voted yet.
Well, no, because there's 11 people watching and 12 votes. So I think
somebody voted and left.
Yeah, I think that's it.
They were not held by the suspense.
I don't think anyone's going to break the tie unless you do, Hammer.
Really hate having to do that, which is why I'm having to do that, I'm sure. Yeah,
naturally. You can flip a coin if you don't want to actually put thought into the decision.
Really need to do that. I really need a site that find a site that has a nice coin flipping option.
I mean, I just use random.org, but it doesn't have like a nice animation or anything. You just hit a button and it tells you heads or tails.
But you know me, I have to have pretty. So
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, for pure utility, random.org does let you flip a coin if you want.
Frosted says to vote for him. We'd need a different poll, but sure.
Yeah, well, I will vote for Frosted on the sole condition that he drops TUES as a running mate. I ain't having that particular type of person as a vice president.
I do know the game you're talking about, Blue Eyed Screamer. Just we have to make fun of the name. Yeah.
Okay, so Blue Eyed Scream says you toss beanbags at a board with holes. So okay, I don't know where the corn comes in because the corn is the part that makes it sound like a butthole. Like if it was just beanbag hole, that's still pretty bad. I think the hole. Don't call it a hole. Don't call it a hole. I think that's.
I feel bad that you associate corn. I mean, all food eventually ends up that way, but.
Well, no, because the whole thing is that you don't digest the corn, so that when it comes out of your body, it's got the fruit, and then it's got the corn sitting in it. That's
you guys are gross, man.
No, I'm sorry.
Been trying to change the topic like 3 times now, and you keep going back to this.
I'm sorry.
People in chat want to talk about cornholes. I am at the behest of the people.
We're still talking about it. Have you noticed that the numbers have changed again?
Under the Bridge does seem to have suddenly acquired an extra vote.
And I have not voted yet.
Well, there you go. End the poll before they tie it back up again.
I'm going to vote for Scar to prove that I haven't voted yet. So you'll see that number change.
And JB has a coin flipping website you might want to check out after the stream. It's called Coin Flippy.
Oh, that sounds cute.
So, yeah, you might want to check that out, see if it's to your liking.
My sense of humor is just so childish.
So we do have a winner.
Well, no, we don't because it's tied back up again.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna pick Under the Bridge because it came across first.
There you go. That works.
Well,
once again, you've been forced to break the tie.
Yes, but in a way that doesn't require me to decide. It just happens to be first on the list.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
And here everyone is discussing how to cornhole. Yeah.
You guys.
Well, you
not how you make popcorn.
2 more minutes, Hammer. 2 more minutes and you're home free.
Yeah, despite what the theaters told you, that's not how you make popcorn or buttered popcorn.
And I think Casual is happy that Under the Bridge has been selected as the outro song.
Yeah, I have a feeling because it led for most of it anyway. I mean,
It did.
The thing is, really, if you're a fan of RACP, they're all really good songs. The people
That is
know
true. Yeah.
what the popular ones are. So I had a feeling that Under the Bridge and Give It Away were going to be the top two, which it did turn out that way.
I can't say I'm not disappointed you didn't go with Rick Astley.
Ooh, careful. Hand pets.
Are you still alive, Hammer?
I'm like Pats.
I think he died.
Yeah,
Okay, Hammer's dead.
I'm like Pats.
Thank you for watching the stream. I'm sure Hammer will end it when he comes back to life, which will happen soon. And he will have a far better outro than this one. But thank you for watching, guys.
I have got some iced tea went down the wrong way.
Yeah, it's what it sounded like. That's why I was like Heimlich Pats.
And yes, as predicted, Hammer has risen from the dead and will be able to deliver his outro.
Yeah.
Breathe through your nose.
It's about that time. Just let me gain my composure here a little bit.
Yep.
Well, that was fun. Perfect timing.
Well, Hammer is actually better than Jesus because Jesus took 3 days to come back from the dead. Hammer only took a couple minutes.
3 seconds, although I'm struggling. I'm going to get out of here before I do die. It's going to happen if we're not careful. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember the Minions are live every evening except for Thursday, with most shows starting 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about our awesome Rumble pre-show. That stream will start generally half an hour before YouTube. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one, guys. But I have to be a proper Canadian. Apologize for a third time. So next week I'll be here like an extra half hour early.